So, Commissioner, we've had more than 1,000 participants, 12 heads of state and government, around 70 ministers, not to mention half a dozen commissioners. It's been a great couple of days. Have you enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it very much, and you have to tell me how you managed to get all the people here on Friday afternoon. Thank you very much to be here, and thank you very much also for all your contributions. I think, looking back, very strong and very important messages, very strong and important commitments. So,
well, let's have a look.
I will thank a lot of people during this conversation.
I'm sure. Well, let's have a look. We've got a video recapping a lot of the last 2 days. So let's have a quick look at a highlights reel. Well done to all of you. And I'm sure we will be sharing that on social media, so you can share it with your colleagues as well and to prove that you were here in person. But Commissioner, so let's start with some of the challenges and opportunities that we highlighted over the last 2 days. What were your three biggest, if you like, takeaways?
The commitment. The commitment of all the people and all the leaders here to rule of order and rule of law, to multilateralism, but mainly to a sustainable development. The understanding that we bear responsibility not only for the things happening now, but for the things to come. There be responsibility for the planet, for the young people which will seek for the jobs, and for the generations to come. And this commitment is very important, because commitments always means expectations, and for me it means that we have to deliver. And I was always used to deliver. The much bigger part of my life was the private business and banking part, where you were evaluated only for the results and the deliveries. And this is what I find fantastic on this new challenge and on the job which was entrusted to me, that I have the possibility to deliver. And but I know that I will not be able to do this alone, and I will need the leaders, I will need the ministers, I will need the private business, all of you, that we deliver together.
Well, you mentioned there your former career in banking, so perhaps you're something of a deal maker, and of course deals are always done between two or more parties. How satisfied are you with the sorts of deals you've seen done over the last 2 days? We've had a lot of business and financiers here as well.
Well, I do not want, I will talk about the deals, but please don't see it, because deal making sounds very transactional. And this is something what we say, this is something what is not enough. You know, you might strike a deal, but my experience is that if the deal is very favorable only from one side, and it was always something I was trying to teach my colleagues, please don't be hungry. If the deal will be extremely beneficial for us, this is the last deal we have with this partner, because he will never ever repeat the deal with us. And if yes, he will anyway tender us and pressure us to the lowest price ever. So this is about more than a single deal. This is about partnership, which means that we want to have plenty of deals together for a long period of time, because we believe that they are beneficial for us. But when you ask me to, and I like to have like figures and to talk and to express the results in figures, we closed or we committed only for INPA, for my responsibility, 3 billion euro projects. We have 800 million e-mobility program in Costa Rica, 3 million people yearly. It's a great thing. We have the coffee program in West Africa. We have the hydropower, the Rangoon and Cambarata 1 in Central Asia. And some of these deals are game changers. The hydropower projects in Central Asia, they will completely change the electricity supply landscape in the whole region. Who knows Costa Rica? The e-mobility, not only in the capital but also between the cities, will basically change a lot. Of course, for me, for a coffee lover, the sustainable coffee program in West Africa is also extremely important.
Absolutely. I don't think anyone would disagree with anything you've said here today. I mentioned at the beginning all those figures of different people involved, but I also should say that there are hundreds of business leaders here. What's your message to the private sector? They know about already what you're saying about these deals. What's your message to them?
I was talking about the strong messages, and I think this event was a real success. 12 head of states, 70 ministers, more than 100 representatives from private sector, not talking about more than 1,000 participants. Strong commitments. DRC, Rwanda, strong messages, but these are also commitments. And we heard a lot of commitments from politicians and policymakers towards business. So you can recall on these promises and on these commitments, but we expect the same from the businesses. To take responsibility, to use your entrepreneurship and the spirit, and together with us to seek for new opportunities. The European companies are desperately looking for growth. We will help you to grow in Africa, in Latin America, in Caribbean, in Asia. So this is basically my message. We will work with the governments of our partner countries. We will introduce and help them to come with the governments and with rules and laws which will create more investment-friendly environment. We will support you with blended structures, with interest rate hedging, with currency hedging. We will support the projects with soft powers, investing in education, in know-how transfer. But part of the risk should remain on your side. What I see increasingly in Europe is the tendency to capitalize the profits and to socialize the losses. This is not the way how it can work. We will not replace your equity. We will catalyze your equity, and this is the role which I see in my work and in the work of my team, and of course in the work of the whole team Europe, of all the 27 member states, their governments, of the 16 development banks, and other institutions. But I have a good feeling that the commitment and the determination is here.
Well, over the last 2 days, and particularly on the last panel discussion that happened here, we heard a lot of discussion around the topic of transparency. And of course, the Global Gateway Forum is live streamed because people, citizens, want to be informed about what's going on. How important is that transparency element, do you think, to you?
Now, it is important. We are working with taxpayers' money. We have the responsibility to explain them. This is not our money, so we have the responsibility to explain the European households and businesses that basically we invest the money in the best possible way, in line with our values, but also in line with the best interests of Europeans and the best interests of the people in our partner countries. And this is important. And therefore, transparency sometimes creates administrative burdens, but I think this is important. We will always try to be faster, to have the things much simpler. But we do not want to compete with the methods of China or of Russia, because we simply need the transparency for all the reasons I already mentioned.
Well, you were quite right when you said it is rare in Brussels to see so many people at a conference at 4 p.m. on a Friday. So the Global Gateway Forum obviously has some sort of secret sauce here. We're looking ahead to the next forum in June 2026. What are the things you would like people to remember as we look ahead to that? I
want the people to remember that we managed to gather really leaders, 12 head of states, including President Lorenzo, chairing the African Union, including President Pedro from Colombia. I want the people to remember that I hope that we progressed very much in bringing lasting peace to DRC and then Rwanda. That basically we use the time here and also the presence of US delegation to negotiate a lot of negotiations, and that we are ready as Europe to provide the peace agreements with economic content. As a citizen of a former Soviet satellite country, a country which is a success story in a transition, in emerging process, I strongly believe in regional integration, and this is something we want to offer. I think I also want the people to remember all the great ideas, the attention for SMEs, the attention for more and bigger role of women and girls in the business, because this is extremely important, and there is a strong call for this. So I think we will need a certain time to analyze all the great ideas and inventions which were mentioned here. I will have definitely a long follow-up with my team. With my team, without their contribution, it will not be possible to have this successful thing, and I will then thank them really personally. But it will take time. I'm flying on Monday to Mexico, to Cancun to see the Caribbean issue, the Sargassum issue. Then I will spend 2 days in Mexico City, and then I'm flying to G7 on Washington D.C. On Friday, and Monday I'm in Luxembourg meeting the foreign affairs ministers of the European Union, then Strasbourg. So we have a little bit time to think about, and but we will definitely collect all the ideas in order to be to improve, to be better next time, but also maybe to change certain things, mainly when it comes to like administrative obstacles. And we introduced the Global Gateway investment hub. And I know this is not perfect. But, my attitude is that the time matters. So, and if I will strive for perfection, we will not move forward. So I'm always saying, implement now, perfect tomorrow.
That is a great motto. Now, you mentioned there will be a lot of work to be done ahead of June 2026, and you mentioned your team. So perhaps now is the time, you said you have a lot of thanks to give out, is perhaps now the time to do it. Well,
the great girls from INPA are working hard to make all these great things happen. Leila, Paula, Justina, Maria, Beatrice, and Julia, they really delivered a tremendous work. Thank you.
Can we get them on stage, ladies? Can you join us on stage? Stand.